Hey guys, it's Missy Wolf, and I'm here with Ricky Young. Now, how has this new release been for you? I know you just released a new EP a couple of days ago called Shock Moves. The response I've seen on Twitter and on Facebook so far has been amazing. How has this been for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's been just that. It was a long time coming. You would think, just 6 songs wouldn't take all that long to get out. We started working on it last December. I was actually in the studio working on it, and I'd written, a good bit last year to try to come up with some new music. Usually when you do new music, you start writing for your next one. So it was like a continual process of trying to get new stuff out and write new stuff at the same time. And so, yeah, we ended up being a lot later getting it out. We were trying to put it out in late spring, so I didn't quite hit my deadline. But that being said, it all worked out, and yeah, the response has been amazing. It's always exciting, obviously, anytime you're able to put out some new music, and and on this side, it's there's one thing I didn't write, but it's almost all original, which is even more exciting. So it's been quite a couple days.
No, I bet. And I know that, you had invited people to come to your CD release party. And I, unfortunately, was in California, and I'm still here, so I couldn't go. Well, how was that for you? How was your release party? I mean, it seems like it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I was actually gone kind of on vacation that whole week. So, and basically, we didn't do. I didn't do like an actual full band show. It was really more just like a hang. Let's celebrate and enjoy putting out some new music. So it was very chill. But a lot of people showed up. By the end of the thing, it was crazy. It got a little wild.
I'm sure. And then
a bunch of Tennessee Titans came out, and it was pretty neat.
That's great. I love hearing the fun stories. So I'm sure that this Thanksgiving now, with it just being a few days away, you're going to be completely thankful for all of every response that you've gotten for this new EP. I know your fans have been waiting a long time, so it's great, and it just seems like it's just going to keep soaring to the top of the iTunes charts here. I've been watching it since you released it, so it's pretty incredible. I love witnessing all of that. But I wanted to talk to you about your prior experience with being a baseball player in the minor leagues. How in the world did you go from being a baseball player to being an amazing country musician?
Well, that's funny. I don't know. First of all, there's a whole lot of former athletes that have made their mark in music, especially international and country music. So I feel like I was just one of the several. Lee Bryce played football at Clemson. Chase Rice played football at North Carolina, and Brian Kelly played baseball at Florida State from Florida Georgia line. And so, yeah, I mean, it's funny how that all happens. I don't know. It must be the creative / competitive side of us, just wanting to do something new and something that we enjoy, something that's fun, that we're passionate about. There is no like, oh, it happened like this. It just happened. Like the 5 years I was in the minor leagues, I had my guitar on the road with me, and I was just basically in the hotel room that night playing, and I did a whole bunch of gigs in all seasons and stuff like that. Right. And it just turned in. It was a gradual, move into that world. And once I was fully out of baseball, it basically I flipped the switch and said, "All right, this is it. I mean, this is what we're going to try to do, and hopefully people like it."
Well, I think people absolutely love it. I don't think like is the correct word. You have so many fans. You have, thousands and thousands of Twitter fans and Facebook fans. And, that to me, just, I can't imagine having that many followers on either one of those sites. What is that like, knowing that so many people are watching you every day?
Yeah, well, it's cool, for one, because if you look back, even just look back 10 years ago, artists didn't really have platforms like that to get their name and really, truly themselves out to the masses. It just didn't exist. You had to go see a show. You had to you had to buy their music,
Right.
and like the actual hard copy CD, which hardly anyone does anymore. And try to get to know them through the music. Now it's so, obviously with social media, it's so easy to
Right.
to just see things that you would have never seen before. So I think it's cool. And you're humbled that anybody even cares enough to even want to see what you're doing or want to buy your music or enjoys, your pictures and your thoughts and all that stuff. So it's a cool little thing, man. It's something you look back. I moved to Nashville 4 years ago from North Carolina, and I've been playing bars there for 5 years, so like bars and clubs there straight. And it's just it's crazy to see how it went from zero to where we are now, and it's it's been neat. It's been neat watching it, and I've been very excited to even, like I say, have people that care, and I can't speak higher. Those are the folks buying the records.
Right.
Those are those are the people who are ultimately, they're seeing everything happen, and then you get to put your product out, and then hopefully they like the product.
No,
I feel like we did something different and cool and new this time. And, I'm really excited about it.
well, it's great. I've been playing, your let the whiskey do the talking over and over, and I've been sharing it with all of my friends, and I'm like, take a look at this song. What do you think? And so I had a friend actually who called me just a little bit before the interview, and she's like, oh my gosh, I love this song. It's just great. And she said, even my son loves it, and he doesn't like music. And so
That's fun.
it's great to hear that, and I mean, music is evolving, and there's still a lot of people who definitely don't like change in their music style and their more traditional country. But really, I mean, there's so much crossover that's taking place, all the time everywhere, and I think it's just great. And I think your sound is incredible. And you did a really fun video that I loved watching, and it's Baby What's Up featuring Bubba Spanks. Now, the dog in that video, is that your dog?
Yes. It's a sad story now because Shooter is no longer with us.
Oh.
He was in doggy heaven, but he was my tour buddy. He went on the road with me. Everywhere. He was everywhere. He was my best friend, and it was truly one of the sad days of my life when he was no longer with us. But that's him. That's old Shooter there in the truck checking out the ladies.
Oh yeah, no, I when I saw him, I was like, oh, that is the sweetest faced dog ever, and I just absolutely fell in love. So I am very sorry for your loss. That I know that those things are not easy to deal with sometimes. And we also saw Lee Brice in that video, didn't we?
You did see Lee Brice in there, and that's a good eye.
I was like, hey, I know him.
Lee's been a long time friend. We both grew up one town over from each other, and there was a church camp that we all went to, and he played a lot of music at, and I played some music there, but he was kind of year in, year out there. But anyways, we had a bunch of mutual friends, and literally, that song that I actually have a song on my new record, or my first record. Me and Lee did a song together. It's called "I Carry It With Me." It's about it's about growing up, how we did basically. And then this this record, I put out a song called "Footprints on Myrtle," and I basically wrote about our experiences. It was me and Lee Brice, and Louis Brice, his brother, and a couple of our buddies, like hanging out and having the guitar down on the beach, and that was a real story to me. I never told that story in a song before, so he was a part of that whole experience. I don't know, he probably doesn't even know that, but
well, he will now.
he actually met his wife. Well, it wasn't his wife then, obviously. He met there, and then like 10 years later, they ended up getting married. But that's where he met her, on the beaches of Old Myrtle Beach.
Oh, that's great. Well,
pretty cool. Inside story. Most people don't know that.
There you go. That's awesome. Well, when I saw him in the video, I was like, hey, that's pretty cool. And I knew that you guys were friends, because you've talked about being friends with him, and you've written with him, and you actually you went on tour with him too, didn't you?
We played some shows together. I went on the road with him about 6 months after moving here, just like a one little 5-day run, and then just recently I got a chance to play again with him. Actually, and of all places, Myrtle Beach.
That's awesome.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's great.
Yeah. That's been a cool little thing. And, he played my single release party when I released Let Whiskey Do the Talking as a single back in April. He came out and played that show with me. He just jumped on stage and played I Care with me. And I got truly one of the most humbling and nicest texts I've ever got in my life the next day. And he basically was like, Ricky, he goes, brother, I don't know how you've done what all you've done in such a short time here in town. He goes, but I'm proud of you. He said, you put on a show better than anybody. I forget the exact words, but basically he said, you put on a show better than anybody that I've ever seen in Nashville. He said, you've done it all by yourself with no help, with no manager, no publisher, no label, no publisher. And he was on tour with Luke Bryan then. So, I mean, if you can imagine reading that from some guy who's, got 5 or 6 number ones.
Absolutely.
Well respected. That was some really cool stuff. And unfortunately for us, we don't get to see each other very much because, well, for one, he's got a family, and then he's never here.
Right. I know. He seems so busy all the time. But, that was something that I wanted to talk to you about, too, is, your personal life with getting to see your friends and family and loved ones. Being in a relationship when you're a musician and you're on the road and you're playing shows, how does one manage to keep their personal life intact while they're doing all of these other crazy, things for their career?
Yeah, you asked the $1 million question, because there is no right or wrong way, and there is no easy way. Because at the end of the day, literally, it's a strenuous idea for a relationship. You just think about the principalities of a relationship. When you're never together, you're out. You're on the road. You're playing music. We do a really fun show. I'm not scared to tell you that we like to have fun and party. And that's part of our thing. We call it rowdy loud. It's part of the thing, and that actually creates some stress in relationships, and it's. There is no easy way. If you look at a lot of relationships, in town, a lot of them didn't work out. It's tough, and there is no, like I said, there is no easy way to really do it, but you just do the best you can do. And, for me, it's been easy to keep my relationship out of like social media and stuff like that.
Oh, absolutely.
The hard part is just being away all the time, late nights on the road, not being together, not that kind of thing. But every artist who's ever been here is in a relationship.
Absolutely.
Say the same.
I think for me, that's when Skype comes in handy, right? Because you can still connect with your loved ones and you can see them and feel like you're there even though you're not.
Yeah.
I do rely on Skype quite a bit. Definitely. Well, the other thing I wanted to talk to you, if you still have time, is, songwriting. I'm such a fan of songwriting, and I think there's so much more to music than let's just sing the song somebody else wrote. And, a lot of songwriters aren't getting proper credit. And you are a songwriter, and you've written with, the Zac Brown Band. And I know you've written with Lee Brice, as you said. But how important do you feel songwriting is to your career?
Well, yeah, it is an extremely big part. I honestly don't think I would be in Nashville if I couldn't record my own songs. That being said, there's so many unbelievably, amazingly talented songwriters that you don't always, end up cutting 100% of your own songs. It just doesn't, because someone's better at songwriting than you are. They tell the story better than you could tell it sometimes, and you have to appreciate and respect that. And that goes for every singer-songwriter in town. Lee is a good example. Literally, he's probably one of the best songwriters in town, and he still, cuts music that he didn't write because obviously he heard something in the lyrics and in the song that he wanted to say. And so, but going back to that, some of my best friends here in Nashville are songwriters. A lot of them are singer-songwriters. A lot of them are aspiring artists. And there's definitely a tight-knit community here amongst that group. There's singer-songwriter nights all over town. But for me, it's it allows me to tell people who I am without what would you say? it allows a different platform for people to understand who you are.
Because you can get emotional in a song too, without like having some post out there. You can be a little bit more.
Right. Well, and you can see, like, I mean, you know, I grew up in a log house outside Columbia, South Carolina, on like 6 acres of land and a pond with deer head all over the wall. And you hear that, and you're like, oh, he's country.
Wow. Yeah.
But I also went to all black school growing up, so I listened to a whole lot of hip hop and R&B, country, pop. I listened to all of it. So like, and there's a generation of of folks within 10 or 15 years of my age that have all experienced that same thing in some way or form. Not necessarily where they grew up, but like just having different influences in music. And I, as cool as a songwriter, be able to get a lot of that out. Some of it's done in production, some of it's done in songwriting. But you know, that being said, it's a cool thing for me because I've been able to put out things that I like, that influence me, and you know, I understand folks who who only like traditional country. That's cool.
Right. That. Yeah.
But you know, what's funny about traditional country is that there's never been really traditional. It always changes. Johnny Cash was an outlaw, you know, and then look at him. You look back at him now, and he's one of the all-time greatest.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Hank Jr. and Hank Sr. They were all completely different artists, and they all at different points of time in their career were looked at as not outcast, not the right word, but they were looked at as just completely different and outside the box. Well, that's cool.
Yeah,
and that's we're doing that right now. There's so many artists, you know, Sam Hunt, Ford Georgia Line did a few years ago, who are just doing their own version of country music.
Exactly.
You know, and I love that. I love that country music has grown that way, and I respect anyone who appreciates the more classic sound. I'm a fan of that music myself. So
absolutely, and you know, same for me. I mean, I love so many different genres of music. You know, I grew up listening to Barry Manilow with my mom, and you know, Neil Diamond with my dad, and then you know, Bon Jovi was my big thing growing up. And here I am, and I just love country music, and all of the crossover stuff that people are doing is just, you know, like the mashups. You know, they just put Chris Stapleton and Justin Timberlake together. You know, and that got such a huge response. And you know, there's just so many
incredible. One of the best things I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, absolutely. That was amazing.
Friends. Most people don't know they're buddies. Like they write together. They've written a ton of songs together.
Right.
Those two guys have. So it's not like they didn't know each other. It was, I mean, and you could tell too, their chemistry on stage was incredible. So cool.
Right. No, and it was, but it just, you know, it's those kinds of things where they're, you know, combining these people, and it's just, it gives you a whole new respect for music and the artists themselves, because sometimes I think people get stuck with, oh, this is a country artist, they can only sing country. Well, no, they can sing this style too, and that, you know. So I love the pairing of people. I think it's great, and you know, I love just the growth in general. And your music is so uplifting and entertaining and fun, and you know, it's definitely great to see. And you know, you have over 1 million views on your YouTube channel, and my gosh, you are just soaring right to the top. And you know, I can't imagine what that must be like for you. That's just got to be one of the most exciting things ever. You know, you're doing what you love, and people are recognizing it, and that's just gotta make you feel good.
It's a good feeling. We just saw like some of the initial numbers that came in, and you know, a little over a year ago, I put out "Feels Damn Good," my last EP. And those are all original. All 6 of those are original tunes, and I put out 6 this time, and only one wasn't original. And we did just in the first 2 days, we already did more than it's almost 4 times what we did just over a year ago. So that speaks volumes. And
right.
I mean, I think that to me is the where you look at. You can be a numbers person, but numbers matter because it is a business. But but it's good to see the growth, the growth on paper.
Exactly.
And that's what I'm humbled by. That people actually they like the last stuff, so they wanted to hear more, and more people, hopefully we've touched more people through social media and
Right.
and being on the road for 4 straight years, every single weekend. I think that's slowly paying off, and it's been a one fun ride.
Definitely. Well, I have enjoyed watching it from the social media side, and you're constantly posting, and your fans are always so supportive, and it's just really great to see. It's been a really positive thing, and I'm just so glad you took the time to talk with us today, and just good luck to you and on the continued success of this EP, which is on iTunes. So I'll make sure we post a link for everybody so that they can get to that. And man, just keep doing what you're doing, because it's amazing, and we're gonna keep following you here. And anytime you have anything else out and you want to talk to the fans, you just let us know, and we will be more than happy to do this again. Maybe next time we can do an on-camera interview. That'd be fun.
Yeah, sounds awesome. Well, thanks for having me. I'll tell you before I leave here.
Sure.
The last song on the new EP is called Nashville, Tennessee. If anyone ever wants to know about my music life in Nashville, it's written in 3.5 minutes.
Okay.
It's written. I got to tell you the story about that song because you asked about songwriting.
Yes.
And I forgot to mention it. So
okay.
That song was. I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I've never done this in my life, and I've written over 1,000 songs in my life.
Oh my God.
I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning with all these thoughts in my head, and it was crazy. I was like, "What's going on?" And I picked up my iPhone and I pulled up my notepad on my iPhone, and the next thing I had like just 3 paragraphs of just this insane thoughts, and I was like, "What in the world? If I don't have a song here, I'm not a songwriter." So I went up at 4:30. I picked up my guitar. It was pitch black dark, dead quiet, sitting on my bed. My iPhone is the only thing that had lights, and I picked up my guitar, start messing around. And this song came out, and what you hear on the EP was recorded on my iPhone. So we've done a lot of people. The critics would say, "Oh, it's too produced," and blah. So this time I gave them any of those critics just one song that's completely raw, completely untouched, and literally is as raw as it gets, because within an hour of waking up one morning back in early summer this year. That song, it came to life. So it's on there. It was recorded as a voice memo on my phone. So, that's my journey. It almost sounds depressing, but I promise you it's not. But that is how Nashville has been for me. It's been a fun, crazy ride, and it's come with a lot of amazing times. And so that song is for those who want to know my musical journey here.
That's awesome. I'm so glad you talked about that. I saw some fans, that were commenting about that song and how it was great and it was fabulous. And, some people used some definite words I can't repeat on the phone here, but they were very, very thrilled.
Don't have the explicit lyrics, a little red E on it. I would never thought I was going to have a EP that had that little E on it, but when at 4 o'clock in the morning, that's what came out of my head. Hey. I wasn't going to bleep it out. So. Well,
it's paying off for you, because I know that your fans are already enjoying the heck out of it. So,
thank you very much.
No, thank you for sharing all of this with us, and you have an awesome Thanksgiving, and enjoy your family and your friends whenever you get to spend time with them, and I'm a fan. I'm a huge fan for life. So all of us at Center Stage wish you the best, and we'll talk to you soon.
Well, I wish you and all the folks at Center Stage the best. I appreciate your time, and we will keep in touch.
Absolutely, sounds good. You have a good day.
All right.
Thanks.
All right, you too.
Bye.
Bye.